For now, I think I am going to start working on some railcraft tanks. So those big multi-block tanks that I've used them before in my Let's Plays. In fact, I've used them in every Let's Play because they're just so big and can hold just so much stuff. Now, let's take a look at this. Tanks. Now, I could go for the iron tanks, which are just some iron plates and iron ingots, which are iron ingots put in a rolling machine to create the iron plates, which are used to create the iron tank wall. That is a good idea. It's very basic, it's simple, but there is this though, the steel tank. And unlike it's basically the same as the iron tank, except you use steel plates made from 4 steel ingots in the rolling machine. Now the difference between the iron tank walls, the steel tank walls, and the steel valves and gauges and like that is volume. The basic iron can hold a large amount, and it can be built in various shapes and sizes, but the steel version holds twice as much. Square per square, block for block, it holds twice as much volume in liquid as the iron one does. So, I think I'm just going to forego using the iron tank and go straight for the steel tank. But that does mean I need to make some steel. So first off, I need to make some machines to build some steel. Build some machines to make some steel. And to do that, I need to make one of these, which is a induction smelter, which you may have seen in the crafting table already while I was running around before. And it's just a bucket, some Invar ingots, some copper, a redstone reception coil, and a machine frame, which I just so happen to have right here. What a coincidence! Who would have guessed it? But yeah, induction smelter right there. And let me make a quick chest for it as well as grabbing some hardened energy conduits. Here we go. Now let me cut out a hole right here. Actually, I shouldn't have done that yet. But yeah, let me put the chest down here, I guess, then put it there. And let me configure up the outputs so nothing's going out that way. I want all the outputs going over in this direction into this chest right here. I don't want anything going down either or into the back. But yeah, there we go. That way I can have both blue coming into the top, just in case I want to automate it or anything. But yeah, just like all the other thermal expansion machines, you can customize the inputs, outputs, and the way I have it here, everything will go into this chest, blah, blah, blah. You've seen me do that countless times. I don't even know how many times. So let's hook this up right there, see if it's getting power. And I also need to grab some charcoal out of here while I'm here. Now, the recipe for steel is, let's see, do I have any steel here? Aluminum, iron, iron, here we go. Now let's take a look at the version of steel we are making right now. In order to make steel, there's various different ways in the mod pack. There's the induction smelter that I'm using now, which is 1 iron ingot, 4 charcoal, or 1 iron dust and 2 coal dust, or iron dust, iron ingots, coal dust, and like that. Now, since I have a massive supply of charcoal, I'm going to be using that, even though coal, when pulverized in the coal dust, only takes 2. Because coal is not a renewable source of, I don't have a renewable source of coal right now, but I do have a renewable source of charcoal. So let's start making some steel, and this should work. Looks like it's working. Is it going to make some steel for me? Come on, make some steel. There we go. And this should have made 1 railcraft steel ingot. Now I am going to need a lot of this stuff, so I'm just going to leave this right here to go while I make the rolling machine. Because I do need a rolling machine to make the plates for the tanks. So rolling machine, oh, don't need that, is just some iron, 4 pistons, and a crafting table. There we go. Some iron in the corners. Bop, 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 bop. And here we have the rolling machine. Now the rolling machine, I think I'm just going to stick over here since it doesn't need to be in the way of anything. It does need power, and it needs 5 MJ to trigger it, just like this did. In fact, I think I might need to just... Oop, why is that in there? I might just be able to stick it right here, since I don't really need this right now. Now I will, at some point, set up a power system for all of my BuildCraft energy stuff. But for now, hopefully this works. Is it working? Is it getting enough power? Bit of lag. Did the game crash? Oh no. Oh no, the game may have crashed. Okay, well, I'm not really sure what happened, and I hope it wasn't me that crashed the server right there. But let's try this one more time, shall we? Okay, that's powered. Is it getting enough energy? Hope it's getting enough energy. It's powering up, so this should have enough energy in it to keep going with those engines. I did remove that lever. It didn't crash until I turned that one on, so hopefully that was the problem. But yeah, this should have just enough energy in it, run just enough energy to work it. So let's take a look and see how much steel has been made. 16 so far, and it's run out of charcoal. That's why. Okay, well, I'll let this keep going a bit more. So what else is it I wanted to do? While I'm waiting for that. Oh, I do need a way to move this oil all the way over here. I don't want to carry it around 1 bucket at a time, because that's a lot of oil in those tanks. So I could use a Tesseract, which is an item from thermal expansion. Now the Tesseract is a very nice item. It can be used to transport liquids, items, and energy over vast distances, which is a vast improvement over the previous version of thermal expansion, which had 3 different Tesseracts. It had item Tesseracts, energy Tesseracts, and liquid Tesseracts. But they consolidated it into a single block, the Tesseract, which is very nice. It means you don't have to make 3 different things to transport a bunch of different stuff across dimensions or across lots and lots of chunks or whatever. But it does need a lot of materials. I mean, I've got the bronze, I've got the silver, but it does need a lot of resonant ender. I mean, the Tesseract frame is just some hardened glass, a diamond, and enderium ingots, which come from pyrotherium dust, enderium blend, which I have no idea what that even is, tin, and pulverized shining metal, and a bucket of ender, resonant ender, which means I need a hell of a lot of ender pearls. Not only to make the Tesseract itself, from all the... I don't even know how much that actually is, how many buckets worth. I think it's just 1,000 MB? 1,000 MB? Is that it? Is that how much I need to fill this up? But I also needed a bucket for this stuff, so... yeah, I really don't know. I'm going to need a ton of ender pearls to make a Tesseract, and right now I only have 3, and I do not feel like running around looking for endermen right now. But what I do feel like doing is making something else that also needs an ender pearl, which is the ender tank. Now I only need a single ender pearl for this, a couple pieces of obsidian and blaze rods, which I got last time, and a couple pieces of wool and a cauldron. So I have that, 2 pieces of obsidian and 2 wool. There we go. 1, 2 ender tanks. Now the way the ender tank works is unlike the vanilla. Ooh, I do not want that. Looks like somebody else is I'll explain that in a minute. But yeah, the way the ender tank works is you can use different dyes. In fact, let me grab some dyes. Yeah, the way this works is you can take normal dyes you get either from flowers or whatever. Let's make a couple of these. 1, 2 of those, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Now you can take the dye, and you can custom color these 3 squares. Well, not really squares. What are they? Oblong pieces on top of this. So I can put this color on here by right-clicking, and as you can see, the lava that was inside of it is now gone, because this is now a white, lavender white tank. And just like with a vanilla ender chest, every tank that has this color combination on top of it is now identical. So anyone who has another tank and has this color combination, I'm going to put orange, lavender, orange on mine, and then orange, orange, lavender, and now anything that goes into this tank will also be shared by this tank. And as you saw before, I just had the plain white, white, white on top, which meant which is why there was lava inside of it, because someone out there has lava in their tanks, is using the basic white, white, white combination from the basic one, and they were using it for, I'm guessing, a pumping operation in the nether or something. So yeah, if anyone who makes a tank and has the same color combination on top can access the contents of any other tank with the same color combination anywhere else in the world. So that's why you saw the lava in there when it was white, white, white. But now that I've changed it to match orange, lavender, orange, and orange, lavender, orange, I can put this over by my filled oil tanks that are next to my turtle pit, and put this one next to my railcraft tanks over here once I get them built, and I can just pump all the oil into this tank and then pump it right back out of this tank into the main tanks, and it will save me from having to bucket it out one at a time or fill up singular portable tanks like this and bring it over and drain it one at a time. I'll just be able to plunk this down and pump it out just in one go. And another thing to note, this valve right here, you can right click on it, turn it to orange up or blue up. Blue up means it is only inputting, which means if you put a pipe or something next to it, it will pull any liquids into it. If you have it orange up, it means it will output. If you have a pipe or something next to it, it will output into that pipe or into the inventory, a liquid capable inventory next to it, which is very nice. But yeah, now that I've got these built, do I have enough steel? There we go. So let's put this steel in here, have it start turning into plates, and hopefully this is enough power and it won't crash the server again. Is it going to crash the server? Nope, server hasn't crashed yet. and it looks like it's working. But while I'm doing that, let me get what else I need for the tank. And what else I need is, I'm not sure why it always defaults there, some glass panes, basic glass panes, and the plates. Oh, well, let me make sure on a steel. Yeah, basic glass panes. And for the valve, you need iron bars and a lever, all of which I have, or at least I should have. Iron bars, here we go. Iron bars. And I have the lever, and I should have enough, yeah. Now this does make, for each 4, it makes 4 steel plates. So it's a 1-for-1 thing. Just have to wait for a few more to be made. But I can go ahead and grab some of this and get to making it to make the steel tank valve. Now this is the block that the liquids go into and can be pumped out of. You need one of these for your tank every time. For every single tank, you need at least 1 gauge, 1 valve, and the rest can be any combination of that and tank wall. But you need to have at least 1 tank valve and 1 tank window. So let's craft this now. Now this does have some great returns on it, because 4 plates and this glass turn into 8 tank gauges, and 4 plates turn into 8 walls. So this is a lot of blocks right now, but I am going to need more later on. But for now, this is just enough for me to get started. Now I used cobblestone here to lay out the area, but I'm going to replace it with these tank walls right here at the bottom. Now I do plan on having like a wooden floor surrounding it, so this part right here will be sunk down into a floor, so it won't look too bad. But yeah, the way this works is you have to build a framework like this, and it can be 3x3, 5x5, 7x7, or 9x9. And 9x9 is the largest square area you can have. And you can have it up from 4 to 8 blocks high. Now for my purposes, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm just going to have a 4 block high right now, since I don't have a lot of oil, but I might need to upgrade it later on, which is something else that's very nice. You can add on to it later without losing the contents, as long as you don't break I think it's the center block right here. As long as you don't break that center block, you can break blocks in the tank. So yeah, I had just enough to make the framework. So let's go see, do I have enough plates left over now? Okay, only have 16 and 20. There we go. Not really enough. I'm not sure if this is actually going to be enough to make it. It should be 40 more walls. There we go. That might just be enough with the valves and the gauges to fill in all of this. Now I am going to put a gauge. Yeah, I'm going to put a valve. One here and one here, just in case I ever decide to build something underneath it or want to pipe out underneath it. But the rest of this I'm going to fill in with walls. And the center of this you need to leave completely empty. And let's see, I want to put another valve right here, along with gauges. Maybe one more right here. And fill this up. Once I put in these last 4 blocks, it should turn into, aha, there we go, steel tank. As you can see, the gauges, the 2 gauge blocks have connected, and if we right click, we now have a steel tank that can hold 32 3,200 buckets of liquid. That's 3,200 buckets of liquid, which is very, very nice. Yes. Now let us go and grab those ender tanks. And I'll put all this extra stuff away.